The House of Shadows. In a small town nestled deep within the African savanna, there stood a house that no one dared to approach. It was the former residence of Kofi, a feared ritualist who had long passed away. His dark legacy lingered in the whispers of the townspeople, who believed the house was cursed. For years, it remained abandoned, until one fateful day when a man named Chike bought it for his family. He moved in with his wife, Edeora, and their 3 children, Obina, the eldest son, Amora, their teenage daughter, and little Ifani, the youngest. Chike parked their truck in front of the house, looking up at the building with a satisfied grin. Chike said, "Well, here we are, family. Our new home." Edeora stared at the house warily, her brow furrowed. The house loomed before them, with vines creeping up its cracked walls. It was larger than any home they had ever lived in, but something about it felt off. Edeora replied, "Are you sure this was a good idea, Chike? The villagers warned us about this place. They say Kofi practiced dark rituals here." Chike replied, "Nonsense, Edeora. Those are just old stories. The house was cheap, and it's perfect for us. Besides, the kids need space to grow. We'll fix it up, and it'll be like new." Obina, standing beside his mother, crossed his arms and frowned. Obina said to his father, "It looks creepy, Dad. What if the stories are true?" Chike smiled, "There's nothing to worry about, son. You'll see. Let's get everything inside." As they moved their belongings into the house, Amora wandered around the dusty old rooms. The air inside was thick, and the wooden floors creaked beneath her feet. She paused in front of an ancient-looking door at the end of a long hallway. Amora called out, "Dad, what's this room?" Chike came over and looked at the door. It was made of dark wood, and strange carvings were etched into it. Chike pushing the door, "I don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. Probably just a storage room." But the door didn't budge. Chike tried again, but it was as if it was sealed shut. Edeora approached, "Maybe we should leave it alone, Chike. This whole place gives me the chills." Chike sighed and patted Edeora's shoulder. Chike said, "Let's just focus on settling in. We'll deal with this later." Several weeks passed. The family began to face evil things. The children began to dream evil dreams and forsake over and over again. One night strange things happened. Obina was the first to notice. As he lay in bed, staring up at the ceiling when he heard soft whispers. They were faint, like voices carried on the wind, but they seemed to be coming from inside the house. Obina whispering to himself, "What is that?" He got up and crept to the door. The hallway was dark, but the whispers grew louder as he approached the mysterious door at the end of the hall. Just as he reached out to touch it, a cold hand grabbed his shoulder. Obina jumped in awe. It was Amora, looking as scared as he was. "Amora, did you hear that too?" Obina nodded, his heart racing. Just then, the door to their parents' room creaked open, and Edeora stepped out. Edeora asked, "What are you two doing up?" Obina whispering, "Mom, we heard something. It's coming from that door." Edeora glanced at the door, and for a moment, her face paled. But she shook her head and pulled them back. Edeora said, "It's an old house. Old houses make noises. Go back to bed, both of you." Reluctantly, they obeyed, but none of them slept well that night. The next day, things got worse. Ifani, the youngest, started talking to someone who wasn't there. Ifani replied saying, "Yes, I like to play too. Do you want to see my toys?" Edeora, watching him from the kitchen, frowned. Edeora asked, "Who are you talking to, Ifani?" Ifani smiling, "My friend. She's right there." He pointed to the empty corner of the living room. Edeora's heart skipped a beat. she knelt down and gently touched his shoulder. Eudora replied back, I see no one inch Ifeanyi. But Ifeanyi just giggled and went back to playing, as if nothing was wrong. Later that afternoon, while Chike was out running errands, Eudora decided she'd had enough. She approached the locked door at the end of the hall with a hammer in hand. Amora and Obinna watched nervously from behind her. Mom, Amora called, maybe we shouldn't. Eudora said, we are going to find out what's behind this door. With a heavy swing, she struck the lock. The old wood splintered, and with a creak, the door slowly swung open. Inside, the room was dark, but a strange, musty odor filled the air. As Eudora stepped inside, she felt a chill run down her spine. At the center of the room was a small altar, covered in dust. Strange markings adorned the walls, and in the middle of the floor was a large, ominous circle drawn in chalk. In the corner, there was a pile of old bones, and the faint scent of decay lingered in the air. Eudora whispering, oh my God. Suddenly, the room grew cold, and the whispers returned, louder than before. This time, they weren't faint. They were angry. Voice began whispering, you don't belong here. Eudora stumbled back, her heart racing, as the air around them seemed to grow heavier. The door slammed shut behind her, trapping them inside. The whispers became deafening, and shadows began to move along the walls. Amora screaming, Mom, what's happening? Just as panic set in, the front door of the house burst open, and Chike rushed inside. He heard the screams coming from the hallway and raced toward them. With all his strength, he forced the door open and pulled Eudora and the children out. Breathing heavily, Chike stared at the room in disbelief. Chike said, what is this? Eudora grabbed his arm, her face pale. Eudora said to her, we have to leave. Now. That night, the family packed their belongings and left the house the next day. As they drove away, Eudora looked back one last time. The house stood silently in the distance, but in the window, she could swear she saw a dark figure watching them. They never returned. And the house of Okwi remained a place of shadows and whispers, forever cursed by the rituals of its former master.